Here we go. Okay, our webinar is now live and I see that our participants are coming in. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Chris. Hi, Mariah. And they're all saying hello back. Hi, Sam. Hi, Hope. Hi, Nolan. I'm doing well today. Thank you for asking, Chris. Hi, Dakota. Wonderful. So I'm just gonna let a few more people populate in here before we get started with Mohawk. My name is Carolyn. I work for Edge Factor. I'll be moderating this session, which means I'll be putting things in the chat that are maybe really important pieces of information or things I found interesting. Feel free to join me and do that. It's always great to have a bit of a conversation going on about some of the great things that we're learning. If you have any questions, please also put them in the chat. If I can interrupt the ladies, if it's appropriate, I will, and then I'll ask them those questions. If not, I'll wait till the end and I will ask your questions. I also write them down, so don't worry if it starts to move up the feed. And just know that we're here and I'm really excited. So both Tanya and Kayla are going to pop on to say hello and then pop off. Anytime their video feed is on, they find that their Wi-Fi becomes a little bit tricky to deal with and they don't want to lose us. They want to be able to share with us their presentation. So just know that they are still there, even if you can't see their faces the whole time. And they're going to start by telling us a little bit about themselves and then jump into their presentation. So I'm going to turn it over to you ladies to get started.
So hi everyone, my name is Kayla. I'm from Six Nations, Ontario. Six Nations of the Grand River. I grew up in Hamilton, Ontario. I did participate in NAPAM programming before. I went to high school in Hamilton. My high school was Westmount, and they had a lot of involvement at the Hamilton Regional Indian Center. So some of you I may have met before, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys today to share more about Mohawk College.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tanya Jacobs. So I work at Mohawk College. I'm a student satellite coach. I did work at the Indian Center as well for 15 years. So I might know some of you as well. Yeah, I grew up off reserve actually in Burlington and Fort Erie. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so I'm going to turn off my video and we're going to get started on our presentation. And we look forward to putting some things in the chat as well as Carolyn. And if you guys have questions, we'll have a time at the end where we are happy to answer your questions as well, okay? So I'm going to turn off my video for now and share my screen with you guys. Okay. Sorry. All right, so we had our own little introduction slide. So just as a reminder, I'm the Indigenous Outreach and Education Advisor at Mohawk College. And we're going to put this information in the chat in case you guys want to connect with us after the presentation to talk about college. And my coworker's information is here as well, and she's the Indigenous student coach. So there's lots of cool information to share about Mohawk College. We have over 32,000 students. We have 4,200 plus international students from over 70 countries. We have about 120,000 alumni members, and we are number one among Canada's top research colleges. So that's a really exciting thing to share. There are about 300 plus volunteer opportunities each year at our college, and we have 3 full service campuses as well as some partnership locations on reserve and in Brantford. So we'll get to talking about some of that in a little bit. Another important thing to highlight is that 86% of our grads are working within 6 months of graduating. So I'm just going to show a few slides of some of the categories that you can start to research when you're researching colleges. These are some of the categories that we have programs in. So we have health, community services, technology, skilled trades and apprenticeship programs. So we included a slide here to talk about skilled trades. You may have heard a little bit more about this earlier in the day. So 4 ways to enter a skilled trade is number 1, find an employer. Number 2, enter a pre-apprenticeship program. 3, enter a college program or register an OYAP. So there are 5 steps that we want to share about becoming a Mohawk College student. So number 1 would be to prepare. So when you're preparing, I'm going to share some links with you in a little bit. So that's your researching phase. And that's where you're going to start to gather information. Some of you may have come to Mohawk College on a school trip before and did a tour or participated in a program in our Indigenous department. So those are some of the examples of ways to prepare to apply to college. So step 2 would be to actually apply. So we apply to college using the ontariocollege.ca website, and I can offer a lot of help with that. And number 3 is to confirm an offer. And number 4 is to register. And 5 is to arrive. So in present day, this may mean to arrive virtually. So we're going to talk about that a bit later as well. So again, a little bit about me. In my role, I'm the Indigenous Outreach and Education Advisor at Mohawk College. It's my job to help you collect information and resources required in order to make a decision about applying to school. So if you have no idea where to start, you can connect with me and we can explore all the ideas that you have of, what you want to do in your career. And sometimes it's not, we don't start with sending you to school right away. Sometimes we'll refer you to a program at NAPAM or an experience in the community, or we'll do some research together. So it's really exciting. I visit schools in the community, such as the Niawi programs. And I also visit community centers like HRIC or the Aboriginal Health Center or different, Six Nations community agencies. So we have our Aboriginal Post-Secondary Information Program tour. So that's APSIP. You may hear about that on social media. And what it is about 20 plus recruiters will travel across Ontario to different high schools and community centers to help Indigenous youth figure out what they want to take in college or university and what careers they would be interested in. So we have a big network of Indigenous recruiters that can help you make that decision. So if you are looking to go to college and then university, we can often help you connect the dots and connect with the right people in order to make that happen. Or if you want to talk to a different college or university and you don't know where to start, you can let me know because I work with a lot of the Indigenous staff and I can get you connected. So another thing that you can do with working with me is career exploration. So again, we can be in that research phase and I can help you figure out what interests you and what you would like to turn your interests or gifts into a career. I can also offer application support, and sometimes that means connecting you with support to apply. So it costs $95 to apply to college. Don't let money be a barrier. If you ever need help or you want to apply to college, but you're not sure, where to start or how to get the funding, just let me know, because I can support students with the application cost as well as the tuition cost and the funding support when you're a student. There are plenty of different resources in the community to help fund your education, and just chatting with me or Tanya can kind of help you get started on that. So I work with the students until they're ready to be a student, and when they accept their offer and start their first day of school, then I transition you to our Indigenous coach. So she's actually here with us today. That's Tanya, and we work really close together. So we also have partnership programs with Six Nations Polytechnic. So Six Nations Polytechnic has a site in Ashwegan, and we work mostly with the site in Brantford. So for September 21, our upcoming programs are construction techniques, mental health and disability management, personal support worker, and social service worker. So you can apply now to those programs. And again, if you need any help or if you have interest in them, please let me know. So I have, I opened the wrong thing. So I'm just trying to get back to the chat because.
Sure. So there's just a question in the chat. Well, maybe you work through that or finding your way back. So what program do you offer for people who are trying to graduate high school? Example of maturity credits, etc.
Okay, so working with me one-on-one, I offer a lot of support, whether it's connecting you with people in our community. So let's say you're in Hamilton. I can connect you with people in the community that can help you summarize those credits. So for example, we have Hamilton Wentworth District School Board, and they offer maturity credits. So I've worked with students to figure out that process, because sometimes when we jump on the phone, we don't get the answers that we like to hear. So I can sit down with you and kind of share with you my contact there and what the process looks like, and offer you support while you do those things. So they basically have, for maturity credits, a package that you would fill out, and you would talk about your experience so far. So for example, if you exercise, you could write that in the package and talk about that you exercise every day, and that you, whether you go to the gym or whether you go for a hike or whatever it is, there is education in that, there's skills in that, as well as if you cook for yourself. So if you cook for yourself and you know how to budget and go grocery shopping and make a meal, there are many skills in that. So they may offer you some maturity credits for that. So I can help you explain those processes. We also have, if you're over 19, you can write a test at Mohawk College to get into a program if you don't have, the admission requirement. So usually that's English or math that people are looking for, and sometimes sciences. So you can write the English test here, but there's certain eligibility. So I can be the starting point to kind of decide, what way you want to go with that. We do have academic upgrading. We have, a lot of different programming that can help someone if they didn't get those OSSD credits. There's lots of things we can do. So I would be the starting point to sit down, connect with you, hear from you, hear about, what has happened so far and how you want to move forward. And I can find the right fit of what you're looking for. And then you decide, what avenue you want to take.
I'm on mute. The next question I see in the chat is, do you know if there are any scholarships for sports? Or is that something that an attendee would need to connect with the athletic department about, etc.?
I think it would be a great idea to connect with the athletic department. I know that there are different awards and bursaries for athletes, but for more specific information, I think that would be the best thing. Or email me and we can start that conversation with them if you don't know where to start. So it's kind of like we are helping you navigate this college system, because there are hundreds of staff members at Mohawk College, and we can point you in the right direction.
Wonderful. And Hope is asking, do you have to write a maturity test if you have your GED? And can you show high scores on it?
So depending on the program, they may accept your GED. So we would have to explore, which program are you interested in and would they accept your GED? So again, if you email me those 2 items, then I can also connect with admissions. So it really depends on the program since we have so many of them, the eligibility differs.
Right, right. Well, I've visited, I've been lucky enough to visit Mohawk College, the different campuses as a student teacher, learning about the different college options available to students and the programs that they offer, et cetera. And I know that the Mohawk College campuses, all of them, extremely beautiful. But like you said, so many programs, so many interesting educators, so many different sports and social clubs. And I mean, even during COVID, I know that those clubs and teams were still meeting and making that effort to make that connection. So it sounds like connecting with you to connect with them is a wonderful resource.
Yes, definitely.
So they're hoping that you can put your email in the chat if possible.
Yes, so I'll put my email in the chat. I do have a whole page of links. So again, if you're interested in any of the links that I've shared so far, if you email me, I can send the list to any participant. Because of time, we're going to speed through the rest of the presentation because I do want you to hear from Tanya and the Indigenous Education and Student Services Department. So we do have open house coming up, and this year it will be virtually. So I will put the link in the chat for our open house. The date is April 5th to 9th. And let me see here.
Sorry, was that the open house you just said?
Yes.
Open house was March 5th through the 9th?
Yes.
Perfect.
It's April 5th to 9th.
Oh,
sorry.
Perfect. No problem.
And there is a link to pre-register. So I believe to pre-register and to enter all the ways to win a prize, you can do that starting May 1st. So there are 3 ways to enter. And one is to pre-register for open house. Another way to enter is to follow us on social media. And another way to enter is to create a custom view book. So a custom view book is basically, instead of those big catalogs that we would drop off to the Indian Center and to the high schools, you're able to select the pages that you're interested in online, and then it comes in a link that you can review and look up your program choices to see, what you're interested in. So also, I'm going to put this link in the chat right now. Actually, it won't let me. But career tools. So I'll add these links in the chat when Tanya's talking.
Okay, wonderful.
So career tools is a link where if you are somebody who has no idea what you want to do and you are looking at starting your research phase, but you want to look up programs, the career match tool is something where you can do a quick online test in order to get some program ideas that suit your personality. And the career coach is if you know what program you want to take and you need help researching that career, how much money you make, how many, the job trends, like just different things that way, you can utilize the career coach to kind of view some job descriptions and see what you'll actually be doing, that kind of thing. So the facilitated admissions process. This is for First Nations, Métis, and Inuit applicants. If they are status or non-status, it doesn't matter. You can complete this facilitated admissions process after you apply to a program, and we will not compare your application to everyone else's. This is a way that we just ensure that our Indigenous applicants have to meet eligibility, but they're not in competition with the rest of the applicants. So I will share that as well.
Wonderful.
So
I'm just
we
going to let your
can
students.
turn this over.
Sure, I'm just going to let the attendees know
Go
I see
ahead.
your questions. I'm going to write them down, but we just want to make sure that we hear this part of the presentation because I think it's very, very important. So keep your questions coming. I've written them down. I will ask them after.
All right, and go ahead, Tan.
Okay. So I work in the Indigenous Student Services Department. Oh, and so this picture down here is our department at Fennel campus. So you can see our nice, beautiful wall that we have. Even though we're in virtual right now, this is what it looks like where my office is. So what we do is we offer a wide range of services and activities for our students. And we have all different types of activities and stuff that we put on. We do cultural crafts. We usually would before do it in our office there. We tried sending out virtual, so we could do virtual programming and send out materials. But I think we've had to stop that now due to they didn't want us sending out stuff and maybe have COVID on it, I guess. So we've tried to do different activities since then. So other programs that our services include is the Indigenous Student Awards and our Pathfinder program. Kayla, next. Yeah. So we also provide fall and winter student orientation. So it's a way to connect with your staff and your peers, and that has been done virtually as well. We also offer a tips workshop. So this is a program designed for students who are transitioning to college, and students will develop skills and strategies to adjust to student life. We also have some of the other departments come in and let students know their services and how they can help and what they offer. We have self-care workshops, student success sessions. So there we invite some other departments in and we talk about time management, APA, study techniques, maybe how to manage time for between school and maybe working, stuff like that. We have coach drop-in sessions. So right now I'm offering it usually once a week and it's virtual, so Zoom. And so students, if they have any questions about anything, they can come in and we can talk. We also offer employment gatherings. So we invite different agencies in and they can talk to students and let them know what they are looking for and how to connect, like they can connect with each other and see if that's something that they are interested in, where maybe they might want to apply for after when they're complete school. So other services is also, we have Elder as a resource. So right now we usually have Bertha Sky when it was in person, but now we connect. We partnered with McMaster, so we are utilizing their elders as well. So right now I believe there's about 4 different elders and we do virtual Zoom meetings with our elders and it's usually once a week as well. So any students from McMaster or Mohawk College can connect with the elders. We have an Indigenous counselor. So she's there with students to offer confidential support, personal support, or social and academic support. We have Indigenous peer tutoring. So if there's a student who comes to me maybe and they say they need help with their math or whatever, we can help set that up with, it's usually another student who has completed that program and who had good marks. So she can come in or he can come in and help with that. One of our new supports that we have is our virtual learning basket. So what this is, it's for students who, like, it's a program that you complete, and it helps you transition to virtual learning. So it gives all of like tips and different ways to navigate the systems and everything. And it helps with your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs. You also get like, you can get different a swag when you complete it, like Mohawk swag. Also, if you need help with like a laptop or maybe like a Wi-Fi stick, if you complete this, then they can assist you with that.
Thanks, Tanya. So I'm just going to talk about our Indigenous Pathway Program. So we have a partnership right now with Lambton College, McMaster University, and Laurier. So it is our 2+2 Indigenous Pathways program. So students who are interested would start in our general arts and science program for 2 years, and then go on to take a degree program, which is normally 4 years, and complete it in just 2 years. So that's why we call it the 2+2. So again, you start with general arts and science. That's a 2-year program at Mohawk College. You require your grade 12 English, and your grade 10 math is recommended if you're going to take some math courses. And then if you take 8 Indigenous courses, you could apply to McMaster or Laurier and take a 4-year degree program in just 2 years. So that's a lot of information. We do have a link about it, and we have some information sessions coming up. So the next information session on that is March 30th at 1 p.m. So you can always email me if you're interested in learning more. It's a really awesome pathway because it saves you some time and it saves you money because it's cheaper to start in college. So you take 2 years off of university by starting in college. So people can start at Lambton or Mohawk. So that's why Lambton's a part of that as well. So we're going to go on to questions, but I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can share some of these links that we were talking about. And then if we can go to questions for myself or Tanya, and we'll jump in.
Hi there. So there was a question earlier on in the chat, wondering if there were scholarships for psychologists, specifically like in criminology.
So what we have at Mohawk College is it's called financial assistance, and you can find this on our website. I can also put it in the chat. And what you do is like one application to apply to all the grants, bursaries, and scholarships that we offer. And then the judging, I don't want to call it judging, but assessing the staff that work in awards, they will look and see what eligibility that you meet. So,
and then I have another question here, wondering if students or attendees, I should say, are permitted on campus with COVID to do like an on-site tour right now.
So right now we are working behind the scenes with the recruitment team and marketing in order to provide a COVID-friendly virtual Mohawk College tour. So unfortunately right now, no, we're not offering tours just to keep the community safe, but behind the scenes we're working on it so that we can provide a tour for you. So you're not just having to look at the pictures on our website, that you can actually see videos, because we're hopeful things will start to change in the near future. But right now, no one's on campus unless it's essential.
Wonderful. That's so great that that's being taken into consideration to keep the community safe, but that there's still that virtual option, which is wonderful as well. Can you find out if you're eligible for a bursary or scholarship before you actually apply to Mohawk?
I'm not aware of that at this time. I believe that there are certain opportunities with different faculties where that does happen. But from my knowledge, at this time, no, students apply to awards who are already enrolled.
Okay. And then I have another great question, because I think that this is something that a lot of people who are interested in going into the skilled trades are wondering if I'm going into welding or if I want to go into machining, and obviously that those hands-on practical skills are so valuable. Is that being done at the college level right now, or is everything virtual?
So no, there are a lot of programs that are on campus. It's just that not all of them are. So
Mhm.
for example, in our skilled trades campus in Stony Creek, a lot of programs are running. However, they have shortened the classes to keep people safe. They have extended probably times for having classes to have smaller numbers in that class, and then change the settings so that people are spread out. You're wearing protective PPE, and you're only in the college for as long as you need to be. So it's like if you have a class, you're there, and when your class is over, it's time to go. And just again, to keep everyone safe, to keep everything healthy. And so yes, there are some things that need to be hands-on and in person, and they are running. So for example, that is some of the skilled trades, as well as a lot of our health programs and some programs that have labs. But the difference would be that, for example, maybe you have a few weeks that are on campus, and then you have a few weeks that are virtual. So it won't be in the same way. The accommodations have been made to alter the schedules to make it as safe as possible.
Wonderful. And PPE is personal protective equipment, which we were I was just in a Selco trade show at session, and they were talking about PPE in terms of being on site as well. So they were often saying it's head to toe. In school, I'm sure it's the masks and making sure that you're wearing proper clothing to be on a machine shop floor, like steel-toed boots, etc.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, I don't see any other questions coming through on the chat at the moment. I will say this, students, that your keyword or code word for this session is NAPAM. So that is the code word that you need to put on your sheet in order to gain your points and to hopefully win that grand prize of that iPad, which is so cool. I know that there are a lot of students have scoped out what there is. So there's lots of prizes, but the iPad is that grand prize. Is there any particular transferable skill or soft skill that you ladies feel is really important to have when considering coming to college?
Maybe we can both answer this and take turns, but I'll start. So one skill that I think is important to have is communication, because even if you don't know the answer or you don't know where to go, there's a lot of people that do and can help guide you. So we're always so happy to help you find the answer and give you that starting point. And we also don't know anything's wrong if our students don't tell us. So communication is big, where if you have something going not so well in one of your classes, you can connect with us and we can help you figure it out. So communication is what we love to share with students.
Wonderful.
Sorry, I would agree with her, and that's part of my job as well. For students, like if they're having trouble with, I don't know, with anything, and they don't know what to do, and they don't communicate it, it could make them do not so well in school. But if they contact me, like that's part of my job, is like I try to connect them with services that they can get help with. And it's good if they run into difficulty right away, to not put it off and to try to look after that right away.
Right. When I was away at school, that was, I was fortunate enough to connect with different services, and they always said, just don't suffer in silence. Even if you feel it's a small problem, doesn't matter. Come and talk and let us troubleshoot this together, and know that we're here for you and here to support you. So I think communication is just a wonderful skill to say that is a great thing to have for school. So hope the contact information is just up above in the chat there. Both Kayla and Tanya's information is there. Their email addresses, so you're able to connect with them. Any final questions?
I have a final thought.
Wonderful. Yes.
When I was talking about, oh, okay, we can add that back in. When I was talking about prizes and entering to win starting March 1st on those links, you can access them, like if you forget or you lose this information, by emailing us, Tanya or myself. I have all of these links in a Word document, as well as you can just go mohawkcollege.ca online. And the other option is, or sorry, what I wanted to share was that the prize, one of the big prizes, was a $500 Amazon card. So it doesn't hurt to enter any of those contests, and there's other prizes as well. I see another question. What's the maximum capacity for students in programs with COVID? So there are different restrictions for the different campuses, and I'm not aware of them, but if someone was interested in a specific program, we can contact the program coordinator to find that out. And you'll get an answer of like how many maybe people are in class with you.
I think I heard from one of the, like, I'm not completely sure, but from one of the students, I heard that it was 9 students in a classroom at a time with the teacher.
Okay.
And that was at Stony Creek campus. But like I said, I'm not completely sure. I just was talking with a student, and that's what they said about their class.
So that would probably fit in with the welding. And we have this system with our security department where everyone who enters the campus, whatever campus it is, has to answer some security questions. We have an app, and they have to like talk about, you know, if they've been exposed to someone with COVID. So there's just like a big reminder, and it's, you know, kind of everywhere where you have to have permission to be on campus. You have to have a scheduled class, and we're just trying to keep our community safe and make all these, you know, accommodations in order to keep everyone safe and free from COVID.
All right, so hopefully I entered your email addresses again, ladies. I will say also that this has been recorded. So what we'll do is we will add it to, we will link it to the website, and everything will be live on Monday, by Monday, I should say. So you're able to visit these pages again and watch anything you missed, or go back and find some information that you want to look at again. So that last slide that Kayla shared with us had lots of different links. I know I copied in the one about the career match, but you'll be able to watch it again and find those links, and you'll be able to explore as well. So Monday is when all of these recorded trade shows will be live on the site. And I've just got a message that we have to wrap it up because we're ready to start the keynote presentation, the last one of today. With Corey Jarvis, who's a wrestler that was on the Canadian Olympic team.
Oh, awesome.
So I just want to say a big thank you to Kayla and Tanya for coming and presenting and talking to us about Mohawk College. I know I learned a ton, which is awesome, and so many wonderful opportunities, especially in the skilled trades.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks. All right, well, have a great afternoon, everyone, and enjoy the keynote.